Stavanger. Some cities try to impress you the moment you arrive, and Stavanger doesn't even try. It just quietly knows it already has your attention. Somewhere on the southwest coast of Norway, it sits between water, rock, and weather that changes its mind more often than you do on a Sunday morning. You don't really enter Stavanger, you kind of drift into it. One moment you're driving through open landscapes, and the next you're surrounded by wooden houses, harbor air, and the feeling that everything is just slightly slower here, in a good way. There's oil money in the background, fishing boats in the foreground, and somewhere in between, coffee that tastes better than it should for no logical reason. And the weather? Let's just say Stavanger believes in surprises. Sunshine, rain, wind, repeat. Sometimes all within the same song on your playlist. But that's the thing, it works. It all somehow fits together. This isn't a city that asks for your attention, it just keeps it. And the longer you stay, the more you realize, Stavanger isn't really about what you see first. It's about what slowly starts to feel normal. Rows of wooden houses line the streets, painted in soft reds, whites, and yellows. Like someone tried to make a Scandinavian watercolor painting and just let it happen naturally. It feels calm here, almost too calm. The kind of calm where you start walking slower without really noticing. An albatross seems to have developed a strong interest in human company, especially female human company. It locks onto a small group of young women and just follows them, determined, confident. And there they are, swans, floating around like they own a private resort, and you just happen to walk into it uninvited. They glide across the water with that perfect, "we've been doing this since forever" energy. We're inside the Stavanger cathedral. At the entrance, everything slows down. A simple glass door. Nothing dramatic at first glance, until you pull it open. And suddenly the sound changes, the light changes. Even the air feels different. Inside, the cathedral reveals itself in fragments. Stone walls that have stood here for centuries, untouched by everything happening outside. Soft light filtering through high windows, breaking into quiet patterns across the floor. You don't really step into it all at once. It feels more like you enter in layers. And behind you, the city disappears completely for a moment. We walk a few streets from the cathedral and end up in the oldest part of Stavanger. White wooden houses start taking over the view, packed so close together it feels like they've been standing here for centuries and quietly agreed not to move an inch. Stone gives way to wood. Streets get a bit tighter. And suddenly, everything feels designed for walking, not for thinking about where to park. Slightly uneven doors. Paint that's clearly been refreshed at different moments in time. And it somehow just works. It's the kind of place where every house looks like it has its own personality, but nobody is trying to be the main character. And before you really notice it, you're just in it, wandering through the oldest streets of Stavanger, where everything just keeps going its own way. Thanks for watching all parts of Norway 2026. I'm currently working on a curated version, one single film that brings the best moments of the entire journey together in one continuous story. And after that, I'll be moving into the next project. A very different kind of story, filmed in and around an old estate with layers of history still visible in the building and beneath it. Exploring the cellars there felt like stepping into a part of history that hasn't been touched for a very long time. If you enjoyed this series, consider subscribing to the channel and liking the videos. It genuinely helps more than you think and supports future projects like this. See you in the next one.